Hey guys, I'm probably out of frame. So normally I try to avoid a lot of the consumerism that comes with like booktubing and everything like that. But there's been some changes that are going to be happening, so I ended up having to get a book cart. But instead of ordering it off Amazon, because the only thing I'm getting off of Amazon is self-published books to help support self-published authors, I just went to Walmart and got what they call a utility cart. Same thing. Only difference is whatever the booktubers are ordering online doesn't come with instructions with words, and mine has words. So, there. So I'm going to put this together and I'm going to explain the differences that are happening. So right now, this office that I'm in, during the winters it gets really cold because it's not insulated, and this wall, and this wall behind me all face the outside. And they're not, like I said, they're not insulated, so during the winters and early spring, this gets really cold in here, and it makes it uncomfortable for me to be in here and working for a long period of times because I absolutely freeze. And it's just easier to be in the kitchen, which is why a lot of the earlier videos are of me in the kitchen, at my kitchen table instead of at a desk. I moved into the office because it got warmer. But some of the changes that are happening, my husband just installed 3 new windows. The reason this gets covered up is because there's a window and I didn't want the glare to affect the camera work. He just installed 3 new windows because each wall has a window, and they were very old and drafty. So the first step was to just replace those. I'm going to save this big bag to put all the trash in. JKL. Okay. Good to know that this is all JKL right here. Anyway, so the next step is he is going to be coming in and just tearing out the walls, which I'm kind of looking forward to because I am not a fan of wood paneling, and turns out neither is he, really. So he's going to tear out the wood paneling, insulate the walls, put up drywall, then he's going to paint. During that time, I don't want the books in here because I don't want them getting damaged while he's in the process of doing all of this. But on top of that, these aren't going to stay in here because he has his own office down the hall. His office is about half the size of this one, and quite frankly, it just doesn't suit his needs because he has a giant weaving loom in there, as well as a big stockpile of yarn and different things that go with weaving. He also has his own desk and computer in there, and this room will be a lot more conducive to his weaving projects and whatnot than it would be for me. And since all I do in my office is usually sit at a computer and work, because I write my own books, but I also just sit behind a desk and shoot videos. And my camera equipment, I have a camera, a tripod, and a ring light, which I rarely use because I get good natural light from this window here. So I don't really need the amount of space that's here. Unfortunately, he needs a lot more space. He also needs a lot more storage, so he may end up keeping the bookshelf in here for his yarn and everything. We just don't know. So for right now, it just makes more sense for me to get a cart to make the books mobile. And I mean, I don't have a lot of books right now. This is all I have left to read for the rest of this year, and so they're all going to fit in this cart, you know. Okay, put the small size basket, G, I guess this is G, stand up on its short side on the floor. Its short side? It has a short side? Oh, I guess this is the short side. But yeah, so probably I'm going to end up going back into the kitchen again. Okay, how do these work? Okay, I see. This goes on the inside, this goes on the outside. So, yeah, I'll probably end up, I'll probably end up out in the kitchen at some point again, when the demolition happens in here. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it out in the front room. I don't know. You guys don't want to see my front room, do you? There's a bookshelf out there too, but it's mostly, like really old books, like Happy Odyssey, and then there's some Christian living books. There's two books that I, if I ever get around to it, I might read just for fun. It's called Oh No, We're Gonna Die, and then the other book is called Oh No, We're Gonna Die Again. I don't know what they're about, but sounds interesting. Okay. Oh, okay, so we're just, okay. I see it. I see what we're doing. Now we put the next one on. Same situation. No. Oh, that's just the casters. It's fine. But in August 1st, I have a video that's going to be coming out. That's got a cool announcement in it. So be looking for that. Trying to think of anything else that might be going on that you guys should be aware of. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get into the new. Oh, whoops. This is step 3, not step 2. I gotta put the legs on first. But, yeah. So, he's gonna, that room in there also needs insulated and, new windows. So, I don't even know that I'm gonna get into the new office like anytime soon, because like I said, first thing we gotta do is empty out this office, and we're kind of doing things a little bit slowly, just because of time. He works full-time out of the house, so he doesn't, and like his job is basically what he's doing to our house. He helps other people renovate their homes, and that kind of work ends up allowing him to finance his own home improvement projects here at the house. So it ends up working. But yeah, that room, the office he's in currently, the one good thing about it is that unlike this room, it only has one wall that's uninsulated. So he only has to insulate. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. He only has to insulate one wall in the office he's currently in. And replace one window as a, no, he's got to replace two windows in there, but still, it's more work here in this office than it is that one, because there's an extra window in here that he had to replace, and there's two extra walls that he's got to tear out. He is going to leave the, there's a closet over here that is not against the wall, that's kind of stuck in a corner. He's not going to tear out that one, and he's going to okay, this, oh, duh. But he's not going to tear out the wall for the closet, and he's not going to tear out the wall that's behind you guys, because that wall is an interior wall, and since it's not faced out to a outside, it doesn't get as drafty. As a matter of fact, I think the room that's behind the wall behind you guys is a bathroom. So there's that. Does it matter? I don't think it matters. So as far as what I have left on my TBR shelf, I have Through the Mist of Time by E.J. Lindell, Black and Blue Widow by Rhiannon Rollins, Relentless Blades by Russell Carroll. I'm going to switch the page. Where am I at? Step 4, step 5. Okay. Does it go out? Yeah. The others, The Treasured One by Hannah Levine, Silent Night. It has the last name Emma K. Coet. That's not, here it is. All That You Are by Alicia Roper. I think that's her name, right? Yep. Pearl Fields and the Organ Meltdown. Those both are, they look like short reads, which I'm okay with short reads. I like big books as much as I like the short books because they're a nice, easy, light read. But well, I shouldn't say that because The Last Call was a short book and it was not a light, easy read. That was a scary one by Zendele Kambakazi Zulub. That's one I couldn't read with the lights on. Okay, now we put the third one on. Oh, I wasn't supposed to put the screws in yet. Huh. Of course I wasn't. Because this guy's gotta go on. But I also like big books too, like Timothy K. Clark's Rise of the Dragon Witch. That was a thick book, and I like to joke with people that took me 3 weeks and a dislocated shoulder to read, to get through. Which it was a thick book, and it did take a while to get through it because of how big it was, but it was a really enjoyable read. And I think some people, they get a bit intimidated by large books, and I guess I get that, but at the same time, it's like just because it's a big book doesn't mean it's a bad book necessarily. Okay, I'm gonna let this one swing down like that. Swing low, sweet chariot. No! You know, they make this look simple. They don't. They make it sound so simple. They're like, oh, just do this. Oh, yeah, okay. No problem. I can just do that. Hey, get back there. You're getting rebellious on me. Is anybody else suffering from like the heat of the summer? Like they feel like it's maybe hotter this year than it has been in other summers? I feel like I've been using my AC a little bit more than I normally do. Okay, now I'm gonna move. Oops. Oh, yeah. Can't swing it up if there's something keeping it from moving, can we? Okay. Now, what are you guys reading? Have you guys, actually, if you have been hanging out on my channel and you've been checking out the books that I've reviewed, let me know if any of them were ones that you were interested in checking out, and that you know, let me know if you've read any of them and if you yourself enjoyed them. Tell me what you think. If there's any, if there's any books that you have read on my channel that you've liked, let me know. Because one of the downsides to doing self-published books is that the they're not very well recognized, like say ACOTAR or Before the Coffee Gets Cold or some of those others, or Funny Story. Those have been pretty popular, and so of course people are reading them, they're talking about them, and so the people who read those books, they have somebody that they can talk to about those specific books because somebody's reading them, which I think is great. But one of the downsides to reading only self-published and indie books is that because they're not as popular, not as many people are reading them, and so people who do read them, they enjoy them, but they don't have anybody to yap about those books with. So if you've been watching my channel and you've been checking out the books that I've been reviewing, let me know. I'd love to talk about those books with other people that have also enjoyed the same book. I'd like to hear your thoughts on who your favorite characters were and who your least favorite characters, like if there are any characters that like annoyed you. I will say I read Bad Sector, and that one took me way too long to figure out because I was like, Mark in Bad Sector is a human. He is fully 100% a human person. He is a real boy. And he has a program in his head known as the Advocate. And I was like, the program should be the logical and analytical one, and Mark should be the one that has a little bit more of a human emotion and empathy, but it's backwards, and instead Advocate is the very human part of Mark, and Mark himself is logical and analytical. And I was trying to figure out why that was, because I thought it was an interesting take, and I thought it was something that the author had done deliberately to just supersede expectations, but it turns out he was actually just using proper neurological science, because the way Advocate gets embedded into his brain is that they leave the left side of his brain alone. That's him, that's himself, and then what they do is they put Advocate in the right side of his brain, which is the more creative version of himself. Like the creative side of your brain is your right side. That's the side that is the writer side and the artist side and the music side. That's your creativity center, and your left brain, the left side of your brain, is your more analytical and logical side. So the reason Mark himself is analytical and logical is because that's the only part of him that's left, is the left side of his brain, because the right side has been, for lack of better words, scooped out to make room for Advocate. But I do love Advocate. I think he is hilarious. There's one time when they're they're going for their training, and they're on their first work order where they're supposed to basically just be watching, I think his name is Johnson, and learning from him. And Johnson is like talking and doing his thing, but then as he's talking and everything, he's just a kind of a good old boy, and I do like Johnson because he seems to have kept a lot of his own self, despite being a hangman. And so as they're talking, Advocate is very much a fan of the guy. I don't know. What am I supposed to do with the casters? I thought I knew. Hang on a minute. Let me figure out the casters real quick. Just screw them in. Here I'm trying to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Maybe I need an advocate. But yeah, Advocate is absolutely enamored with Johnson, and he tells Mark, he's like, I like him, can we keep him? Like Johnson's some kind of pet, and Johnson just keeps on going, and Mark is trying to ignore Advocate, and Advocate's like, I mean it, I'll take real good care of him. But yeah, that's just part of Advocate's charm. I wouldn't mind having an advocate as long as I could have that particular advocate. I just don't want to lose my own creativity. So if there was like a way that we could just share my whole brain, that would be fine. But I don't want him unless I can have this advocate, because he's like what I call the 7 layers of bullshit advocate, because when they're going into the maze, Mark's like, okay, we have to go in the maze because that's our job, that's what we're being asked to do, that's how we pass our training. And Advocate's like, there is no way in hell we're going in there. And there's like human faces in the walls, and Rachel is trying to help him out, and she's like, relax, that's not even real, those aren't real people. And Mark says, well, it's kind of creepy though, and Advocate's like, creepy, it's 7 layers of bullshit is what it is. And it's like, he's not wrong. But yeah, there are books like Bad Sector and Rise of the Dragon Witch and Sephora and the Shards of Secrecy that I would just love to be able to yap about with other people that have a similar fan base. And hey, look, I have a book cart. Okay, so let's get these on here. Like I said, I told you about these. I think I'm gonna be smart and put this down here where we can actually have it. Yeah. The last one I said something about was Pearl Fields and the Organ Meltdown by Drew Faraday. Camp Sunshine by Heather S. Chavan. Trevor Lane Carter's The Scroll. Most of these I think are like a part of a series. At First Smile by Melissa Whitting. True to My Name by Rogue Merlot. Poison Bay by Belinda Pollard. A Foul Match by Sarah Madeline. This is one of those books that I would have bought just on the cover alone, just because I have 10 chickens in my backyard and it's got a chicken on the cover. If there's an animal on the cover, as long as the animal doesn't die inside, I am totally buying a book. Kathleen Ray's Silencer. Sarah Madeline actually has a book coming out for the Christmas season called not A Foul Match, it's a Merry Pair. Also, more chickens. In that one, Blackthorn by Emily Eve. Who Fell? They Wait in the Woods by S.M. Savan. Speak the Ocean by Rebecca Enzor. Mediterranean Waves by Ellie Minks and T.J. Fox. Well of Ada by Katie Benson. See if these will fit down here. They will. Woo! Not Actually by Madeline Nixon. Child of Ra by Sarah Bittner. The Discovery of Talents by Phoenix McDonald. That's a cool name. Join Me in Death by Siddhant Shekhar. This one I think is based in India, and I'm really excited to read that because I love reading books from different cultures and seeing how they tell stories. Magic Fear